procedure is doing to our children and to their families where these vaccines damaged. Some doctors have said that every child that's been vaccinated has some form of damage. Some are catastrophic, like you've seen here, and some are very mild. But nevertheless, you cannot inject the poisons that are in vaccines into a little baby or into an adult without some kind of stress being put upon the body. I've voiced this very much in my 40 years. I don't know why I'm still emotional about it. I had never seen this film before. I saw Vax 1, and I was only too happy to be asked to help out in the presentation of this feature, Vax 2 in Winnipeg. We saw that the United States was dead last in the countries, the modern countries, for child health. If you notice, Canada was only a couple stretches above that, okay? We're now going to open this up to questions. If you have any, I'll take a chance. But I want you to introduce Canada's most important organization, Vaccine Choice. I've been a member of this organization for 30 years now. It got started by moms. If you look at all the organizations that are throughout the world, it was always started by mothers. Okay? Today, more than ever, fathers have joined the voice. But it was mothers that witnessed for the first time when their children were damaged by the vaccines, that they had faith in. We have to have faith in vaccines because there is no science to back it up. We're discovering in the last 5 to 10 years that they've been lying to doctors. And now doctors are too afraid to go against this because it's their bread and butter, it's their reputation, and it would be having to admit that they knew nothing about this medical product. Vaccine Choice Canada. Become a member. It's free. Get their monthly journals. Read about the latest and the greatest. Okay? Make sure you pick up this about 5G because this is another very disturbing type of technology that's going to affect our children's health. Okay? Open up the questions. Patrick has a microphone. If you've got questions, let's talk about it. That's the only thing. Let's continue this voice of parents and voice of witnesses. You've been witness to the dangers and the damage. You can no longer admit that vaccines are safe and effective like every single doctor and nurse will tell you. That's what they were programmed to tell you. Can I get a question from somebody?
Where's Gardasil at now?
Gardasil is being pushed as a very important vaccine for all teenagers, okay? Gardasil is a very profitable vaccine. All vaccines are extremely profitable. There are 4 major vaccine companies in the world. Merck is probably the largest. All of these companies have been prosecuted in the United States in the last 10 years for lying to the FDA about some other drugs. So they're all, as Robert F. Kennedy, a phenomenal environmental lawyer, has discovered, because he's been on the legal team suing these companies left, right, and center over the last few years. The only product that these companies don't get sued over are vaccines, because in 1986 the governments had to pass a law to protect these companies if they were going to continue manufacturing vaccines for the benefit of society. Well, I can tell you that there is no benefits to society, as much as it sounds crazy that there's no benefits. All you have to do is start studying. I've read every single book, and the stack of books are this high now for families to go and read. When I started to learn about this 40 years ago, it was in an immunology class, and the professor advised us that in the polio shot, which was very prevalent back in the 1970s, there was a problem. It was contaminated with a monkey virus, number 40. Out of 100 different viruses that they found to contaminate the polio vaccine, the 40th one found by 2 female scientists was the virus that could trigger one of the worst cancers in humans, which today is being handed down genetically to all the offsprings of the people that were vaccinated in the 1960s against polio. And before they got that virus out and filtered out of the vaccine. Vaccines are grown on animal tissues. They're grown on fetal tissues. You are not getting just an antigen, just the measles, mumps, and rubella. You're getting measles, mumps, rubella, and thousands of different contaminants in the vaccine. You don't know what you're going to get yourself into by getting vaccinated, you yourself or your children. It is the hardest decision you're going to have to make because the societal pressures are enormous. And the greatest threat to this industry are the non-vaccinated. And one of the things that brought it out very clearly, they are trying to destroy the non-vaccinated population by vaccinating them all by force, by legislation. And what that will do, it will prevent scientists from comparing non-vaccinated to vaccinated groups. Because that is the study that needs to be done. That is the easiest study to do, and that is the study that they will not do. And they've admitted it in front of Congress. They've admitted it to the World Health Organization. We will not do that study. And now we know why. So rather than doing that, they are packing full of money into every legislative assembly member around the world to make sure they pass laws to force vaccinate everybody. And this is what we're going to be seeing in the 1920s, in the 2020s, in the next 10 years, okay? So beware of that and be ready to stand up and refuse that. Our country especially has signed an agreement with the Nuremberg Declaration that we will not do any medical procedures on any human being without their informed consent. Their full and informed consent. And to get full and informed consent about vaccines, you must have in front of you the huge document called the vaccine insert. It is the legal document that vaccine companies must include in every little box of vial of vaccines. And you must ask the doctor to unfold that and read it to you. Patrick has a question. Thank you.
I just want to ask, on top of all the vaccines going on with kids, do you see any correlation at all with the flu vaccines that they're pushing on the elderly?
Thank you for that question. The flu vaccines have been highly studied by a group of independent scientists. It's called help me out here, collaboration. A worldwide group. The Cochrane Collaborations, thank you. The Cochrane Collaboration is a group of scientists that are not affiliated with the industry, the vaccine industry. And they review all of the science